Hello, my name is Lindy Cowling and welcome to my channel. If you'd like to check out my background, my website is www.lindycowling.co.uk, and if you need to get in contact with me, the way to do that would be via my email info@lindycowling.co.uk. Today's subject matter, the title of the video is Transparency is the New Visibility. Transparency is the new visibility. The vibration that we have now ascended into, the vibration that we have been given the opportunity to blossom like a flower into and to open up into from our hearts, goes hand in hand with transparency. And what I mean by transparency is, as part of this process of opening up, as part of living and being driven by the vibration of our heart, the true being that we truly are, which is the heart taking the lead, part of that process involves being driven to be transparent in all that we are, all that we say, and all that we do. And as an automatic part of this process, when we are being transparent, being absolutely authentic, being absolutely truthful, we then automatically put out a sound. We put out a frequency. This sound, this frequency can be not only heard above the level of ordinary physical hearing, but it can be felt. The vibration can be felt, and it can be heard rather like someone blowing a dog whistle, or I always use the example of dolphins sending out a sound that we can't hear with our physical ears perhaps all the time, like a sonic kind of sound. It can be felt. Sometimes sounds can be felt. Sometimes they can be felt before and outside the range of physical hearing. So as part of our hearts opening up, is as we start to open in this way, we are automatically, I wouldn't even say driven to be more authentic, because that implies that there's an effort required. It's just a natural part of the process. You cannot actually be anything other than what you are. And this is the difference between a human doing and a human being. You can't be anything but that which you truly are. So you are called upon really by your own being, your own soul, your own spirit, to be honest, truthful, transparent. Transparency is the new visibility, because when people can sense by the feeling that comes from you, by the light they see in you, by the way you make them feel, by your living embodiment of this transparency, this truth, this honesty, this authenticity. It's all really the same thing. When that is physically visible to them, as well as auditory, as well as them hearing it, it's physically visible to them. It's not an abstract concept. This gives others the encouragement and the permission to be transparent themselves, to have the impetus, the courage, the strength to be transparent themselves. Because history shows us that in the past, to be transparent, to be openly authentic, has been something that human beings have been very, very frightened of and discouraged from being. And history is littered with examples of people that kind of were being very authentic, that were burnt at the stake or punished in some way. It's almost like part of the old paradigm, part of the old templating, part of the old ancestry, if you like. Is littered with examples in the old programming that we all have of the message that if you are authentic, if you show an honesty, almost like a childlike vulnerability, a purity, that automatically makes you weak or automatically makes you too vulnerable. I can tell you that the most empowering thing that you will ever do for yourselves, and therefore for everyone around you, and therefore the knock-on effect of that, like a domino, therefore to the benefit of humanity as well, is just to be transparent, the authentic you. This calls upon you to just be completely honest. And I don't mean the very basic levels of honesty. I mean really honest with yourself, living that honesty, living that transparency. Because the way that you are cheating, you're cheating on yourself, is by hiding behind those masks, hiding behind those defense systems, those defense mechanisms, suppressing what you truly are in all forms, in all the ways that this presents itself in normal human lives, the colourful variation of human lives. So transparency is the new visibility, and people will be visibly more transparent. Also, a knock-on effect of this is as you start to see from the eyes of the heart, as you see from there, that alters your field of perception and your vibration and frequency again. And because it alters your vibration and frequency and your perception again, you will then also automatically be able to see, discern and feel what corporations, what associations and what actual people, i.e. within your families, within your friendships, within work, within relationships, or within huge corporations. I mean, the list is infinite, goes on forever. You will be able to then see, discern and feel what that frequency is, and if that is operating from a transparent frequency, from an authentic, truthful frequency. So the knock-on effect of this is huge, and that's why I say it's hugely empowering, because you will find that you make choices and decisions based on, does that sit right in your heart? Does that sit right with your authenticity? Does that sit right with the way it makes you feel? Does that ring true? Does it feel true? What does your gut feeling tell you? What does your heart tell you? Again, it's all part and parcel of what's happening now. When you feel that authenticity in someone else, or when you feel it in a group, or when you feel it in an association, I mean, there are no limitations to this. When you feel it in a relationship, a friendship, whatever it is, you just know. This is the difference between thinking analytically and knowing. You just know. You just know it is genuine. Even if you don't 100% agree with that, you just know if it is genuine. You know if that being, that person, is genuine. And this is almost beyond the level of intuition. This is what we call the knowing. And that's all part of this, part and parcel of this, part of this transparency. So watch for this, feel for this. As I've said many times before, when we are accessing, living through, vibrating through the embodiment of, the ascension of our hearts, you will be compelled to be the embodiment of characteristics perhaps that you never even knew you were capable of. And they are all transparency, truth, compassion, integrity. And they're not something you have to work at. It's just a natural byproduct, really. It's of the purity of love and joy that is the vibration of the heart. And on that note, I will love you and leave you. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see many of you as transparent as possible in the days, weeks and months ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye.